Hello, my name is Fallon de Charlottetown. I'm 21 years old. I live on the east coast of Canada in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Today I'm going to read for you Call to Action number 79. There are 3 parts to it. I'll read it for you. We call upon the federal government in collaboration with survivors, Aboriginal organizations, and the arts community to develop a reconciliation framework for Canadian heritage and commemoration. This would include, but not be limited to, first, amending the Historic Sites and Monuments Act to include First Nations, Inuit, and Métis representation on the Historic Sites and Monuments Board of Canada and its Secretariat. Second, revising the policies, criteria, and practices of the National Program of Historical Commemoration to integrate Indigenous history, heritage values, and memory practices into Canada's national heritage and history. And third, developing and implementing a national heritage plan and strategy for commemorating residential school sites, the history and legacy of residential schools, and the contributions of Aboriginal peoples in Canada's history. I really liked this call to action because I thought that this isn't something that you typically think of when you think of something that's lacking in terms of equity. But I did start to think about it, and I realized that when we commemorate something or make a historic site for an event, for a person, for a place, we give it value. And when there aren't, all the cultures in Canada aren't fairly represented with those historic sites, it shows that we give value to some cultures more than we give to others. And obviously that's a big problem and it needs to be changed. Second, I really liked that this call to action brought up the idea of memory practices, and that is consciously making sure that we remember traditions that have been and still will be, so that the generation to come and generations to come won't lose out on that rich history, the culture, the language, the beautiful parts of all the cultures that make us Canadian. Thank you for listening. See you later.